whether people who are defending our country in the military, it's very easy to, recite the words fraud and, fraud and waste. And I'm especially, frankly, disturbed by the use of the word fraud. Waste, okay, maybe they spend too much money on things. But fraud is a crime. And the idea that there is widespread crime among federal employees is something that is not supported by any evidence that I've ever seen.
As you know.
Well, yeah, but fraud is still intentional wrongdoing.
I'm not saying these people should be prosecuted. I'm just saying fire half of them.
But can I just say one other thing that's very important that President Trump said yesterday is that he would abide by the courts. He did say that. He said, I will abide by the courts.
He did say that,
and the appeal process. I think that's really
let's
important.
Play that clip. I was about to play that clip.
And to ask the Democrats.
Yeah, I want to play that clip. I think that's a very important point. Let's play that clip because he did say that. Let's take a look.
If a judge does block one of your policies, part of your agenda, will you abide by that ruling? Will you comply?
Well, I always abide by the courts, and then I'll have to appeal it. But then what he's done is he slowed down the momentum, and it gives crooked people more time to cover up the books. If a person's crooked and they get caught, other people see that, and all of a sudden it becomes harder later on. So, yeah, the answer is I always abide by the courts, always abide by them, and will appeal.
No, see, that's significant. I think that Trump said that on the record.
Really
I thought that was really excellent what the president said.
Yeah, I think, and he should be.
Roland,
Roland, before I get your reaction,
I think
by contrast, I want to replay the clip of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez when she talked about a Texas court ruling over suspending an abortion drug. Let's take a listen.
I believe that the Biden administration should ignore this ruling. I think that the courts have the legitimacy and they rely on the legitimacy of their rulings. And what they are currently doing is engaged in an unprecedented and dramatic erosion of the legitimacy of the courts. It is the justices themselves, through the deeply partisan and unfounded nature of these rulings, that are undermining their own enforcement.
Now, it's funny, Roland, because it seems to me that there might be a constitutional crisis, as people like AOC have been telling us, but it might be because of people like her. Because she's the one on the record saying that presidents should not listen to what judges tell them, whereas the current president of the United States is saying, I will absolutely abide by what the judges say. So maybe there is a crisis, but it's actually because of people like AOC.
Well, she's a member of Congress. She sounds just like Darrell Issa and Senator Tom Cotton, who said the exact same thing because they disagree. Also, Elon Musk called on the Rhode Island judge to be impeached because of what he did. Plus, he doxed the judge's daughter. So I guess these things apply differently when it comes to conservatives.
Well, hang on. Was AOC right to say what she said? Well, hang on, Roland. No, specifically. No,
Piers.
You will. Roland, I'm asking you a question.
I'm very consistent. I'm answering your question. I'm very consistent.
Was she right?
If a federal judge issues a ruling, then you are to abide by the ruling. Then if there's an injunction, if a higher court then sets that ruling aside, you abide by the law. What I'm saying is what we have right now, as we speak right now, we have multiple members of the Republican Party who are articulating that these judges should be impeached. They should not be followed. No one judge can't stop a president. Have rulings. And what I'm saying is you are to abide by the law. And what I'm saying is I'm laughing that the so-called party of law and order is just somehow forgetting the law part. The law is very clear.
So AOC, was she right or wrong?
I'm not done. I'm not done. When the law is clear, when it comes to a president firing inspectors general, you are to give Congress 30 days notice and a real explanation. Has he done that? No. He's fired 19 inspectors general. He has violated the law. You can't defend violating the law. Now, what has happened? They've had to now sue because he's now violating the law. And so this is very simple. Either you operate within the rule of law or you don't.
Okay.
But let's not sit here and play games.
All right, Roland, I agree. Roland, I agree. But then just to be clear, AOC was wrong, right?
You cannot just ignore a judicial order.
Thank you.
You can't.
Okay, great. Straight answer.
Period.
I appreciate that. Look, as
so please tell the Republican senators and congressmen who are saying the exact same thing she said today.
It should apply to all of them. And to be fair to you, you've answered the question. We've just got some breaking news. I've got some breaking news for all of you. Look, I've got some breaking news for you. Look, Tulsi Gabbard has been confirmed as Director of National Intelligence. Clay, let me get your reaction to that.
Putin is happy.
I think this is an example of Trump having put together the biggest tent when it comes to his cabinet, probably of the modern era, certainly of the 21st century. Just follow me along here. I mentioned earlier, you got Elon Musk as a special master deputy, whatever you want to call him, his official title is. He voted for Joe Biden in 2020. Tulsi Gabbard just got confirmed D&I director. She was actually running against Donald Trump in 2020 on the Democrat side of the equation. Remember, she memorably delivered a knockout punch, it felt like, to Kamala Harris's disaster of a 2020 presidential campaign. You're going to have in short order RFK Jr., who was one of the most famous Democrats in the country for about 73 and a half of his 74 years. Trump has as his vice president a guy who compared him to Hitler. Look, one of the things that I think Trump doesn't get enough credit for is, you guys all know this, politicians tend to have the longest memory when it comes to grudges on the planet. Trump is willing to forgive and forget on a level we have never seen before. Tulsi and RFK Jr. Are going to get confirmed almost entirely by Republican Senate votes. Yet it was only a decade ago that the Democrats were saying, hey, maybe Barack Obama should put RFK Jr. in his cabinet so that there's a little bit more star power there. I give credit to Trump. All of his nominees, with the exception of Gaetz, who never got to a confirmation hearing, are going to be confirmed, which is far better than the record for most presidents when it comes to their nominees. I think it speaks to the intent of having people who voted against Trump that Trump has now brought into his cabinet and into his administration.
Yeah, I mean,
representing a broad swath of Americans.
Yeah, I mean, Roland, it's hard to disagree. Most of these people were at one stage with you, and you drove them away, mainly, I think, because of the ludicrous woke stuff.
Actually, they weren't on stage with me. And what about ludicrous? You also have, let's be clear, nobody was saying, hey, President Obama, put RFK Jr. in your cabinet. Little Clay, seriously, wake up. Okay, so what Trump does is
the clips of the discussion for the show, Piers. I've watched those.
Trump loves people who also grovel and bend their knee to him, like the J.D. Vances in the world. Here's the reality here, and that is this here. When it comes to, especially RFK Jr., by all means, I love somebody who sits there and lies before Congress like, no, I wasn't against vaccines. Dude, you were. And so, hey, you got a measles outbreak happening right now in a couple of parts of the country. And so, yeah, let's see what happens with public health under RFK Jr. We might have to be returning back to the full body suits we were wearing during COVID.
Roland, how many COVID shots have you gotten?
Oh, I've had 2.
Roland, you're a big guy of science. How many COVID shots have you gotten?
And guess what? I've had 2, had no problem. And RFK's children have had shots as well, vaccine shots as well.
Hold on.
But he's also against vaccines.
But Roland, the government has told you that you should have had 10. To Africa, why did you stop at 2?
And when I traveled to Africa,
I just want to know, Roland, the government has told you to get 10 COVID shots. Why did you stop at 2?
Questions. I've traveled to Africa twice in the last 5 years, and I've had numerous shots as well. So I have no problem with vaccines. Unlike RFK Jr.
Okay, but I'm specifically asking, you're going after RFK Jr. for not following government advice. You have chosen not to follow government advice and get 10 COVID shots like your government has told you. Why are you not a science denier? Why are you not a shot denier?
First of all, because I'm not. First of all, because I'm not a science denier. I'm not a science denier. I'm not a shot denier. And I also
why are
believe
you
in
denying
vaccines.
science by only getting 2
I'm not
COVID
denying
shots?
science. Play, that's cute, but I'm not denying science.
I think you are. You've left 8 COVID shots. I'm surprised you're still alive,
that's
frankly.
cute.
But why'd you not get the other 8 shots, the boosters?
I can show you the 15 shots
Why
that I
are
got.
You denying science, Roland?
Africa.
Why?
But it's cute.
Why?
It's cute, Clay.
This is
Clay.
I don't know if we can share the show now with you being such a science denier.
Clay, your little cute little moment is cute, but it doesn't work.
Where are the other
it kind of does work, actually. But let me go to Jeffrey.
Hello. Welcome to After Show Carnage.